The biggest mistake most developers do when starting out making a game is making the game look bad. And a good looking game doesn't mean that it's super realistic or have a really nice art style, you just need to make the art style consistent. And when it's not consistent, you fall into the rabbit hole of asset flips. So to help you out, I'm going to show you the 5 steps of making a good looking environment. And to show you that these steps actually work, I'm going to transform a pretty bad looking game into a really good one. So the first step is beauty potential. What this means is that before you even start making your level, you need to think about what detail you can add to the level to make it look better. For example, it's easier to add detail to abandoned places, like the house in Resident Evil 7 and the asylum in Outlast, and it's harder to add detail to stuff like sci-fi facilities, for example the Turing test, because these environments limit the amount of detail you can have. That doesn't mean that all of games with these types of environments are bad looking games, but it just means that it would be harder for an indie developer to make these types of environments look good. Okay, so you got a good looking environment in mind. Now the second step is direction. You need to remember that what you're making is a game and not a movie. So you need to focus on what direction the player needs to go to progress in the game. Later, I'll talk about colors and light and how to use them to convey directions, but even without them, just how the environment is arranged can show the player a clear direction. For example, if he needs a key to progress in the game, you don't put it in a corner. You put it in front of the player when he enters the room. That way it's clear and you don't need to put yellow paint all over the walls to show the player where the key is. But players shouldn't feel down when playing your game. When they're faced with a decision, the available options should be clear and within view. For example, in the Stanley Parable, in this warehouse room, you can clearly see the lift with no guardrails and the catwalk underneath it. Now, you can choose to keep going with the lift or drop down to the catwalk, and you don't feel like the developer underestimates you and guides you like a baby. Now, this step is hard to do when you're not including the third step, which is colors. So colors are the most talked about thing in level design, but a lot of videos I saw make a lot of mistakes while talking about colors. So there's a thing called color harmonies, and what it does is basically say which colors fit and look good together and which one don't. But you also need to take into consideration the fact that colors convey emotions. So for stuff like horror games, you usually want to lean more into the hold and mute colors, while in hero shooters, you'd usually want to lean into more of the colorful and vibrant colors. It's also good to have a difference between the background colors and the interactable colors. For example, keys, enemies, doors and interactables need to have a different color, usually more vibrant than the background colors. Another tip is when going to a new area in the game, you might want to change the background color to reinforce the fact that the player is progressing. At this point, you should start to see the level take shape, but we're not there just yet. Now we need to go through step 4, which is lights. Light is one of the things that make or break a scene, so you need to make sure you nail it right. You'd usually only want to light the areas the player can go through, or object you want the player to look at. And other than that, lights are usually per game and per environment, so there isn't any formula you can follow to make lights look good. So you should just play with the lights in your environment and see what looks best. And when you find a nice place to put your lights, you should bake it, because baking it will boost performance and make it look better. You'd also usually want to make it so there isn't any hard shadows and that the dark areas in your scene aren't too dark, because it looks bad. And whatever you do, make sure that all lights have a source, because a lot of bad looking games are making it so lights spawn out of nowhere without an actual light bulb or a light source, which looks so bad and you just shouldn't do it. And another tip before we move on to the next step is lights in game engines look very computer-like and unnatural. So in most game engines, you can use something that's called a projector or a cookie to add a texture to the light. This makes it look more rough and a little less computer-like, and it's usually very easy to do. So nice, we got a good looking environment and now we just want to add the makeup. So the final step is post-processing. So post-processing lets you change the look of the environment without actually changing the environment itself. and there's so many things you can do with it, but I'll just focus on the 3 major things that I think every game should have. The first is something called anti-aliasing. This makes the edges of the pixels smoother, and there's nothing more to say, it just looks better. Then there's something called ambient occlusion. In 3D space, this makes it so corners have shadows. But you need to be careful, because if you make it too intense, the shadows can get too dark and it will look very bad. A lot of asset flips and bad looking games actually make it too intense, and you can spot it very easily. And the final thing you should use is color correction. This lets you tweak how the color is displayed, and it will help you with step 3 with the colors. So after we learned all the steps, I had to find a nice environment I could transform. And to show you that everyone can do this, I'm going to use only 3 assets I found online and only 3 textures I found online. None of these models or texture I made myself. So after 2 minutes, in the early access list on Steam, I found this game that looks kind of bad, but I think I could make it look good. So it's basically a Phasmophobia clone, so the environment had to be a little scary. So I found this really nice screenshot I liked of this lower middle class residential building with lights in the sides, and I think I could make it look good. I've blocked out the scene in Godot, and this scene is really nice because it follows step 1 and 2 of having a beauty potential, because it's outside, so you can add plants and bushes and a lot of environment stuff because it's also in the street. And with step 2, it has a very clear direction that you need to go forward to the building. After that, I replaced the blocks with building models I found online. Then I started to see more clearly how the environment would end up looking like, so I started adding more models to the background to add more detail. Then I wanted to add texture to the ground, but I didn't want to just slap texture on the ground right now, because there's something that a lot of low quality games do, which is have very flat ground and it just looks very bad. So what I recommend you doing is, if your environment is outside, then use a terrain and then you can add textures and paint them and it will look way better. So I did that. But now the ground felt a little out of place because all of the objects have a kind of mute color and they're more into the gray side, so it looks kind of bad right now, so I added a little more greenery. And because steps 4 and 5 are a little more of a trial and error, I won't show you the full clip of me tweaking the values to see what looks better. I'll just show you the results in 3, 2, 1. And you can even add more stuff, like having wind and stuff moving around. This always makes it look better, and obviously adding sounds will make it like 10 times better, but for demonstrations I think it's pretty good and it follows all of the 5 steps. So I think it's pretty nice. But yeah, this is the end of the video, and if you liked it, it's a little longer than my usual videos, but you can watch these 2 videos of mine and you could subscribe, it always helps. If you like the video, leave a like. Tell me in the comments if I said something wrong. I don't think I did, but yeah, have a good day. Bye bye.